Hey everybody, so I was doing some exhaust work and I made a saddle pipe to weld onto the pipe, and I have a flange that this will attach to, like that. That This pipe was about 4 inches too long, so I just put it in the old, clamped it in the old uh, abrasive chop saw here and went to town just cutting it off. Nothing out of the ordinary, clamped down good, everything was running tickety-boo, no problem. The wheel hadn't worn out. I'll see how much it had worn out shortly. But it just came to an abrupt halt. Sucked this out, sucked the pipe out and shot it at an angle, jammed right here. Listen to this. Oh, there's your problem. There's your problem, lady. Side view of you can see. So what had happened was, here's two of the pieces here. This little piece, I didn't know where it went. I looked around on the floor, all over the place here, and I found it stuck into the wall right there. So there's the two pieces. So basically how it came to a stop was this was still somewhat attached and kind of jammed like that. Just like that. And the other chunk was way off yonder in the wall. So what I'm going to do is change it. This disc, I don't know, it's a cheap disc. It's not the one that came with it. I wore that one out fairly quickly. Now this disc, I will say, has probably been in there over 5 years, 6 years, maybe 7 years. I'm not even sure. I don't remember the last time I changed it. I don't use the chop saw too often anymore, but I do use it now and then. So what I'm going to do is swap out the blade, and we'll examine this blade and take a look and see what maybe went wrong. So I'm going to set you back up in the tripod, and we'll take this off and see what's what. So hold on a sec. All right, folks, we're going to take the blade off, and to do that, we're going to need an Allen key. There we go. Your size may be different. I don't know. I don't know what size this is even. It's the Allen key. It actually came with the saw. So that's going to go in there. This retracts. This is your guard that's normally down. So you can just roll that back up. Now this, if you just try to loosen this by turning counterclockwise, you can see the blade's going to turn. On your saw somewhere will be a stop, a blade lock. Mine is right here. So I'm just going to push that in while turning the wheel. There, it sinks in. So just hold it there and turn this. There. This one was fairly loose, but what I had ready was a socket. That'll tell me its size. So that's an 8mm Allen key on there, and I put an 8mm socket on, deep socket with an extension on it to use as an extension bar for the Allen key, but I didn't really need it. So let's just take this off. Shouldn't have to hold the lock anymore. This should just spin right off. Set that aside. This plate on here. Carefully and surgically remove that. Pull the disc off. There we go. Look at that. That could have been bad. Now, I will say, normally I wear a face shield or at least goggles when I'm using this. I wasn't this time, and I got extremely lucky. That could have ended very badly. I will be wearing a face shield from now on. So there you go. That's the brand. It was a cheap Chinese Princess Auto Harbor Freight type thing. Cutting metal, Bluebird 14-inch cutoff wheel metal for cutting metal, 24 grit, 14-inch 1/8 arbor, max speed 47 RPM. So it's not a cause of RPM. This saw turns at 35 or 3600 RPM. I'm not even sure. Let's bring this over here. First let's check out. Here's the new disc. I got a new Bosch Type 41 1A metal cutting disc, 14-inch, 1-inch arbor, max speed 4365. It's a little bit thinner than the other one, so might not last as long, but it should make quicker cuts. So let's compare the two. So that's the difference in size. You guys can see that. That's how much is worn. So I wore about 1.5 inches off all the way around. So it's probably time to change it anyway. When they get too small, they do get dangerous. And these aren't terribly expensive. This was $18, I think, and that's Canadian. There we go. Put her on the arbor. I'll put this plate back on. Again, your machine may differ. Your saw could have different parts, different sizes, different pieces. Who knows? Let's get this started in there. Tighten that up. And again, we'll do the same thing here. We'll turn it until we get a lock. Oh, we're locked already. Okay, let's use this to tighten it this time. You don't want it super tight. Snug. That's it. The way it turns, it'll self-tighten on its own. Another thing I want to do while I'm at it, let's pull that back, is let's square this up. It's always best to square it up to the blade. So I'll bring you guys around the other side and you can see better. Hold on. Let's bring you over here. All right. So what we're going to do is put a square against there in the blade and try to true up that. Let's see, what do we got? How many squares? Good enough? That should be good enough. Okay, so let's put that down. Actually, before we do that, let's loosen up. There are two bolts or nuts. Well, bolts here, Allen headed cap screws. We'll loosen them up. And they weren't terribly tight either. Yeah, so that gives me enough play there. So what we'll do is we'll bring that down. Yeah, you guys can still see. You can put that down. Lock that in the down position. Maybe you can't see very well. Okay, let's unlock that just for the purpose of this. So you guys can see down there. And what we want to do is square that off to there. That's actually bang on right there. Let's try it with the bigger square, see if we're still good. Yeah, any way I look at that, that's a square. We're square that way. Okay, so we got lucky. I just happened to stop in the right place. And we'll just tighten these up. We'll give it a test cut and see how the new blade's working out. And you don't have to reef on these, just snug them up. All right. That out of the way. What do we got we can chop? Must have something. All right, hold on a second. I'm going to stop you guys here and I'm going to go get something and we'll give her a try. All right, folks, I got a piece of pipe here, just a piece of black pipe, 1/8 inch wall, I believe it is. Face shield. Let's put that on. Clamp that in the vise. Loads down, everything's good. We got Before I go, one of the things that possibly saved me, and always saves me, is when you're using any saw with a circular blade or a blade that spins, never stand in line with the blade, ever. Whether it's a circular saw, a chop saw, a grinding disc, 4 1/4 inch angle grinder, never stand in line with the blade, the rotation, because that's the way it's either going to fly this way or it's going to fly that way. It's not going to fly sideways. Stand off to the side, you'll usually be okay. All right, so here we go. Shield down. All right. It's old saws. Sounds like it's seen better days. Sounds like the bearings are going in it, but there you go. Chopped it off. Fairly smooth. A bit of what's that called? Flashing. Not sure what exactly you'd call that. Nothing to be concerned about though. It just peels right off. There you go. Fairly clean cut. It's not bad. It's square-ish. That's it. Saw works. We're back in business. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll answer them. Avoid bluebird discs. And that's about it. Remember, people, please, please, please wear your face shield. Yeah, whatever safety precautions you can take them. You only have one body. So there you go. Yeah, questions or comments, leave them down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Have a great day. Bye.